Sudden, Allie Franks with some fantastic stuff. I could talk basketball with her all day. She's very talented and also has an unbelievable competitive side that is incredible to see. All right, Sam Clemente is on our show now. Sam, you mentioned to me a couple weeks ago that you think Jimmy Garoppolo is overrated. Is that what you said to me? What did you say?
I said Jimmy Garoppolo is overrated. Now let me...
Okay, no, hang on.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me begin. All right, so you think Jimmy Garoppolo is overrated, which is fine. He's only played in 6 games, correct? 7? How many? 8 games?
He played 2 with the Niners and 5. Or excuse me, 5 with the Niners, 2 with the Patriots, and he got hurt.
All right,
with the
so
Patriots.
First off, my only thing that I want to preface all this is he might be the most beautiful man I've seen in my entire life.
I was going to preface it with the same thing, actually. It's kind of funny. He's a gorgeous human being.
He seriously is.
And I have a friend who said you cannot make it as a franchise quarterback in the NFL if you're not a good-looking guy. And I honestly think look around the NFL.
I haven't thought about that, but that's a good point.
Where's there an ugly quarterback? I don't know.
Peyton Manning had a big forehead.
It's true. The Mannings aren't like good looking, but they're not.
They're kind of like a dorky guy. You know?
Yeah, they're the dude in the hall that it's just kind of weird.
Like their like jeans might be a little bit above the waist.
Yep.
And their pant legs don't all the way go down all the way to their shoes.
They never miss science class. Yeah, they love biology.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I want you to tell me why Jimmy Garoppolo is, in your mind, overrated. I agree that the contract was huge, but you have to pay a franchise quarterback big money. Just how it is. All right, go ahead.
I honestly root for Jimmy G because he is an Italian. I think he's the only Italian quarterback in the NFL, and I'm Italian, Sam Clemente. So I'll say my name in case people don't know. So yeah, of course I want him to do well. It's just that I hear people talk about, and this is writers on NFL.com, professional writers, saying that they think the Niners are a Super Bowl contender. And I saw that, and this was a couple months ago. It's kind of calmed now. This was like in March. And my jaw hit the floor. I was like, are we really going to call the Niners a Super Bowl team? This is year 2 of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, what's supposed to be a rebuilding period. Rebuilding now. It's going to up the ante a little because you have a quarterback, of course. But I don't think they're a Super Bowl team, especially in the NFC, with how many good teams there are in the NFC. But no, 2 big things that I think make him a little overrated is, of course, it's a small sampling size. A good analogy I'll make is Matt Flynn was a quarterback that came in behind Aaron Rodgers and just tore apart teams. And I think he played 2 games in a row, and he had like 5 touchdowns in one game, and he looked great.
He had 7 in one game.
And I think he had 7 in one game. Yeah, I mean, he went ballistic, and they're like, wow, look at this guy. And then I remember my Raiders traded for him, and I was like, sweet, this dude's probably going to be a stud. You know, he tore it up. He looked really good with Green Bay.
There's a reason why he was a backup.
And there's a reason why he's a backup. There's a reason why he looked so good, given that nobody had any film on him. So
right.
I think
saying the same thing for Jimmy.
I'm saying it's not eerily similar, but Jimmy G's not going to surprise anyone this year. Not this year. They have film on him. They're not going to be digging through those 20 plays he ran in New England, 20 throwing plays. They're going to have more on him. And also, you got to look at his stats. 7 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. That's an interception a game. Obviously, I don't think he's going to throw an interception every game. But over a 16-game season, that ratio is not very good. Neither is the passer rating, 95, I think it was. That's okay. That's not great.
Also, he was brand new in Kyle Shanahan's system. So
yes.
here's
there's the counterpoint.
Let me give you let me give you my counterpoint, which I'm sure you're already ready for. The NFC West isn't very good this year. I think the Rams had a really easy schedule last year. They're going to have a tougher schedule this year. They're good. I get it. They're good.
They're great. They're great. They have the potential to be a great team.
Yes, absolutely. The Seattle Seahawks aren't going to be very good as well this year. They might be an 8-8, 9-7 team, depending on what happens.
I want to hear what you say about the Cardinals, though, because
the Cardinals are going to be better than they were last year, for sure.
I like the Cardinals quite a bit.
And I think what a lot of those riders that you mentioned earlier, I think the Niners are that team that a lot of times we see in the NFL, and we see it in the NFL more than we see it in any other sport, where you'll have the worst team in the league, in the division, the next year, because they have that really easy schedule, they'll jump up and win 10 to 11 games.
This was the Raiders in 2016.
Exactly. So, and the Eagles not exactly did that, but something similar to that, where that's a very tough division in the NFC East. They come out and they dominate because they have such a good team. They put together a lot of free agents. The Niners have had a lot of good signings, in my opinion. I like Jerick McKinnon a lot. We've not really had a good running back ever since Frank Gore. You can say we have Kendall Hunter, who was okay. We had who's the guy we just let go?
Who's the guy you just let go?
Yeah.
Carlos Hyde left.
Carlos Hyde, yeah. So
is he a good running back, though? I have to ask you about that because that was one of my points. Jerick McKinnon's a pass-first running back. He is not a run-first running back. He never has been. So that's what concerns me. Is Carlos Hyde was a good runner
Think
downhill.
about Kyle Shanahan's last year with the Falcons when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
Okay? Matt Ryan, who is, I would argue, is a good quarterback, not a great quarterback, had a great year under Kyle Shanahan. They have a couple running backs that they kind of played with.
Devontae Freeman.
And they had
Tevin Coleman.
They had 2 guys, thank you. So they kind of used them both. Now, my thought process is, and you have 2 good running backs, not great, you're better off than giving a guy 30 times a game.
So it's going to be McKinnon and Matt Breida. Who's the other running back?
It's the guy we just drafted.
I think it's Breida or Joe. They didn't draft one in this year's draft. You mean last year?
No, I'm truly not trying to think of. I don't know. I have to.
I know the running backs. I mean, I'm not a Niner fan, but of course I come and doing my research. So you got Joe Williams, who missed all of last season.
So my point is that I don't think that having a non-running running back is going to hurt them a whole lot because I think they're going to throw quite a bit.
Yeah,
I
would argue that.
I think we have an underrated wide receiver group. Pierre Garçon played pretty well last year. And the thing is Kyle Shanahan is kind of a revolutionist offensively. Like, we don't know what he's going to do every time.
Right.
He'll go out and make plays that you would be shocked by. So I think that while all those points you said are very true, the Niners are definitely a sleeper team.
No, I agree.
Possibly. So that's my counterpoint to what you said.
And I have even more that I could dig into, but like you were saying,
I would like to hear.
Oh, okay.
I would like to hear the more advanced stuff.
The more advanced stuff is that I do like the NFC West, as the Rams are a great team that you would argue with what they did this offseason, should be even better, should be a really, really good team, especially offensively where they have weapons galore.
Right.
The Cardinals were a team that I honestly thought had a very good team the past couple years, good roster. They just didn't have a quarterback. Carson Palmer was overrated and got hurt. Now they have a lot of options. My point I'm getting to is this division honestly isn't as poor as you might think it is. Even the Seahawks, with all this turnover, I never discount Russell Wilson ever. Ever. And then you have Earl Thomas on the defensive side still. So the NFC West is still not going to be a pushover. And then what you were saying about the receiving core, it is an underrated receiving core. It is a speed receiving core. There is no size on that receiving core, which is something that kind of concerns me when you face a team that has...
No, I agree.
Speed on their defense.
Yeah, speed at the receiving core doesn't really matter. If you have a speed guy, I saw a stat about a year ago of players or teams that have a speed guy as their number 1 receiver, none of them made the playoffs. So I think speed matters.
They don't have size. I just don't know who's their big body guy. Who's the guy Jimmy's going to throw up to in the red zone?
I mean, it's going to have to be the tight end, right?
It's going to be, and I don't even really know who their tight end is.
McDonald, right?
Yes, I think it's George Kittle is the name of their tight end.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
and that's cool. That's a cool name. He went to Iowa. He sounds like,
he's a Hawkeye, or my boss, Tom Galbraith, would be.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about him right now.
Yeah.
All right, so, yes, I agree Jimmy Garoppolo he was overpaid, but you have to overpay for quarterbacks nowadays, for franchise quarterbacks, because they're so prevalent and you can't get them very often.
But is he a franchise quarterback after that many games?
He was trained under Tom Brady. Have you seen the mic'd up?
Yeah,
He did?
Yeah.
And he sounds just like Tom Brady in them. Like, he was trained by the greatest quarterback of all time, basically. Okay, so think about, it's a very similar situation to Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers.
But Brett Favre, we know.
Was pushed out.
But Brett Favre didn't help Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, if you ask Aaron Rodgers, how much did Brett Favre tell you? Nothing.
Yeah, but you're right, but you can watch and
I think that's what you mean. He wasn't really trained by Tom Brady. He was gifted the presence of Tom Brady up close.
That's just as important.
Yeah.
Think about how many coaches in this league under Bill Belichick, under Greg Popovich have now left and been successful. It's just you mimic things, and that when you mimic the greatest of all time, you're probably going to be pretty damn good. I'm not saying that he's going to be MVP this year. I'm saying it's going to be the first franchise quarterback we've had since Alex Smith the last 2 years. Maybe Colin Kaepernick in the first 2 years that he took over.
And I do understand, because I am a Raider fan and I'm naturally just optimistic about everything. The Niners, what bothers me and what I can still at the same time understand is that, you get a good quarterback who tears it up, who blows away the league in the final 5 games, which the 5th game against the Rams, I don't really count that. I should be 4-0. You played the Rams' third stringers.
And same thing with the Jaguars.
Yeah, I mean, bravo. Beating the Titans is really good. I watched that game. It was like Christmas Eve or something around then, and he did a really good job. But no, my point is I just want Niner fans out there, and I know if there's people listening right now, they're going to be a Niner or Raider fan probably.
Right.
Pump the brakes a little bit. Just pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Let Jimmy G play a full 16-game season, which he's never done in his career.
Yes.
And maybe at the end of this year, if Jimmy G balls out again, then I have nothing to say.
Have you heard my nickname for him? I'm taking what Bill Simmons said. Have you heard the nickname for him?
No.
Jimmy Jesus.
Jimmy Jesus? Well, he is Jesus to Niner fans, yeah.
He is very good looking.
Yes.
I gotta bring it. Just he's.
Well, we should cut to break before Connor starts salivating here.
No, he's just. Hey, I am very secure in myself where I can say he's a very good looking dude. I think he could have a bad year this year. I wouldn't even care just because.
You take his helmet off, you throw an interception, you'd be like, well, look at him.
Oh yeah, he's. Anyway, so.
Forgiven.
Yeah, exactly. But honestly, joking aside, we haven't had a franchise quarterback that we can lean on. I mean, you could say Alex Smith, you could say Colin Kaepernick first season, but really it hasn't been since Steve Young.
I mean, in terms of a pure passer, because
Yeah,
I wouldn't call Alex Smith a pure passer. I definitely wouldn't call Colin Kaepernick a pure passer.
Maybe Jeff Garcia, but he wasn't very good.
He had his time. Jeff Garcia is one of the most interesting quarterbacks in history. But no, I agree. This is the most excited you could be about the quarterback position.
And 49ers fans have we've been waiting for a couple years now. I mean, we were in the Super Bowl a couple years ago against the Ravens. That was a while ago, though. I know we haven't been we're not the Browns.
You're not the Raiders either, man. That's what bums me out. Is these Niners fans are, we've waited so long.
No, I'm not
you waited
that.
like 3 years.
I'm not.
We're
both Kings fans. I know.
I've waited since 2003 as a Raider fan to see them in the playoffs.
You guys have won a Super Bowl since we have.
The Raiders haven't won a Super Bowl in pretty much
How long?
Earlier in the '80s. Their last Super Bowl win was probably '83 or something around there. They were in the Super Bowl in 2002.
2002. Yeah, I forgot that against the Buccaneers, right?
And John Gruden killed us.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No,
So
I mean,
hang on.
I was
I'm
like
going
four.
to ask about what you think about John Gruden when we come back.
Oh, yeah,
we'll
I'd love
talk
to
about the Raiders, John Gruden, and we'll talk about a little NBA free agency stuff as well. That's going to be on Sports Talk.